Barkey. He's Professor of International Relations at Lehigh University in the United States. A very warm welcome to France 24, Henri. Just explain to us how quickly these relations seem to have deteriorated between the two countries.
A great deal of tension between the two countries in advance of this current deterioration. The Turks and the Americans don't agree over Syria, don't agree over how to fight ISIS or Daesh, because the Americans have aligned themselves with the Syrian Kurds. The Turks, because they have their own Kurdish problem, are opposed to that. There's then the issue of the Turkish decision to buy a missile system, very advanced missile system from Russia that would hamper the operations of the newest American fighter. So there was a great deal of tension between the two countries. But the fact of the matter is that in this particular case, what we're seeing now is that the Americans decided to finally put pressure on the Turks to release this pastor, Andrew Brunson, who's been in jail for 2 years now, really under horrible charges. I mean, the Turks have invented all kinds of conspiracy theories to charge him. But there is also 3 Turkish nationals who work for the American embassy and consulate in Turkey who are also under detention, and the Americans also want those people to be released. But the reason the Turkish economy has reacted so badly to Mr. Trump's decision last week to increase tariffs on Turkish exports is because the Turkish economy was already on a downward slope. That is to say, the Turkish economy had overheated. It had huge foreign debts that are due over the next 12 months. The management of the Turkish economy was lacking because President Erdogan refuses to increase interest rates. So there was a great deal of unhappiness and uncertainty in the international financial circles about the Turkish lira, and the Turkish lira had already lost 30% of its value this year. So when Mr. Trump came in and imposed those sanctions and then also tweeted, as he usually does, those negative comments, it really hit the Turks very, very badly, and it created now this reaction by the Turks, of course, and they have instituted their own tariffs and sanctions on the Americans. But of course, those are meaningless given the size of the American economy. I mean, just to give you one little comparison, I mean, Mr. Erdogan came out yesterday and said that people should stop buying iPhones from Apple and buy Samsung. Apple is a company that's worth $1 trillion, which is larger than the GDP of Turkey. So in a way, you realize that the stakes are really set against Turkey at the moment.
Henri Barkey, thank you very much for joining us on France 24.